Hey friends, Sean from Draft Therapy here, and on today's review, for you like a moth to the flame. Lolo Lit Haze is a 6.5% double dry hopped IPA from Mothfire Brewing Company in Ann Arbor, Michigan. I gotta say, first thing that caught my attention for Mothfire was their labels, and that's the point of a label, right? It's called marketing. Now, when I read a little bit more about the brewery, I was at first confused because I recognized the address and they're occupying the former Pileated brewery space in Ann Arbor. And what happened was they actually purchased that Pileated space in 2019. Mothfire was launched in May 2020. So there's a little bit of a history there, but definitely comes down to the labels. The labels are really slick looking. But before we talk about the label, I'd like to thank my executive producers, Ryan Berry, Eric Latowski, Brian Kramer, Zach, and Cam Freeman for helping bring this review to you today. If you'd like to become a producer, help out the channel, or maybe just buy me a beer, take a look at my Patreon at patreon.com/draft_therapy, where you can get early access to these videos, exclusive patron-only live streams, and a few other special perks available only to patrons. So let's take a look at the label here. Like I was talking about, I'm talking about this label so much. Mothfire, on all their labels so far, what they've done is they've featured their logo on the top, which is like a polygonal style moth. It says Mothfire. Underneath is the name of the beer, the description. It has this gradient, or this kind of warm gradient, some of them in different colors, but it usually follows the same kind of ideology here. And this one says Lolo Lit Haze Double Dry Hopped IPA. This is 16 fluid ounces, is 6.5% ABV. It features the sexy hops of Citra and El Dorado. So if we turn it to the side here, it lets you know brewed and canned by Mothfire Brewing Company. You can check them out at their website at mothfire.com, and their address, which is 2290 South Industrial Highway, Ann Arbor, Michigan. And it says supporting local farms with 100% Michigan grown base malts, and then the independent craft beer logo. Now, without getting too much into it, they are occupying a space that is very populated, right? Because you have in Ann Arbor, you have Wolverine, if you're into the lager kind of thing. They have Holmes, they have Arbor Brew, they have, I think Townies is still over there. So there's still a lot of breweries over there. It's a big pie to take, and, everybody's probably trying to carve out a little bit of their own slice. And let's check out Mothfire. This is my first beer having from them, at least in an official capacity. So there's no canned on date on here, but I picked this up with Zach Clark from Craft Beer Conversations about 2 weeks ago at this point. So I'm fairly confident, and they've been flying off the shelf. I'll let you know, the places that I've been able to find it or see that have it, they almost never have it when I get there because they've sold out. So let's put a nose on the can here. Getting kind of almost earthy aroma, maybe a little bit of a citrus and orangey kind of aroma, but nothing really standing out in that citrus kind of realm. So let's go ahead and pour this, and we'll get a better nose on the glass. And that's pouring out pretty hazy, very orange. A nice head's kind of building up there. And you may notice, if you're new to the channel, I smell out of the can. That's because I'm a certified can sniffer. If you want to become a certified can sniffer, check out the link in the description of this video, where you can get your own certified can sniffer shirt. All you need is the shirt and you're certified, so it's very easy. So holding my fingers up here to it, I'm getting maybe about 2.5 fingers, really large bubbles, oddly large bubbles. Like usually when I pour into these glasses, you get a lot of kind of compact ones. There's very compact ones across the top, as you can see from the overhead, but the side perspective that I'm seeing is a lot of really large kind of oversized bubbles on the head. And we're going to pour a little bit more in there. Let's go ahead and hold it up to the light here. I'm going to hold it to the side. And this is probably where one of my brighter lights are. I've changed everything, so lights are a little bit different located. And it is an orange. I'm going to hold it up here. It's a little bit better to see. It's orange, a little bit of a darker orange in the middle. I'm definitely seeing a shadow through the glass. So but it's very hazy. I mean, not clearly evident of what's going on in that shadow. So let's go ahead and put a better nose here. Okay, now I'm getting more of a citrusy orange aroma. That kind of heartier, earthier kind of aroma I was getting out of the can, I'm not getting so much out of the glass here. It smells sweet though. Let's go ahead and try it out. Cheers. And the head itself, I'm down to about 1.5 fingers, from 2.5 to about 1.5 fingers. Cheers. Mouthfeel's very much on the lighter side, very crisp for a New England style, or it says a double dry hopped IPA. I'm going to call that a New England style for all intents and purposes. It has a little bit more of a lighter kind of mouthfeel, but the flavor itself, the first impression, is very refreshing, very bursting, very bright, a very bright orange flavor to it. Almost like a shockingly orange brightness to it. Like I was expecting it to be a little bit more, have a little bit more of, you know, Citra is more of a Citra orangey kind of flavor. That's the kind of flavor I generally pick up. But I was expecting for some reason to get more of kind of like a tropical muddied kind of flavor out of it. You know, like a lot of really complex flavors going on. But this, it's not simple by any means. Don't get me wrong. I'm not calling it simple. But what it is it's very bursting orange. A lot of just exploding orange juicy flavors right in the forefront, and it's almost like when you get those flavors that are just so strong, you start to get that tingling in your jaw. You know, your salivary glands are starting to kind of perk up a little bit, and I'm like borderline getting that kind of vibe off of this. There is a tiny bit of a bitterness. It's a citrus bitterness. There's a tiny bit of it. But this is really just like orange, 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 orange. The bitterness is a citrus orange kind of peel, orange zesty kind of bitterness. So it's not offensively overpowering by any means, but that's just kind of the bitter. If I'm pulling to try and pull a bitterness out of this, that's what I'm getting. It's going to be more of an orange peel, orange zesty kind of bitterness. There's almost a bit of a sweet malt flavor in there as well. A little bit of almost kind of crackery, bready kind of flavor in there too. I'm getting a little bit now as I kind of started. I took those two drinks because the first one I took was really quick and I wanted to take a smaller one that was a little bit slower. I am getting a little bit more of not so much of that orange zesty kind of bitterness, but almost at this point, there's almost a bit of a piney kind of element in there too. So I would say if you're looking for more of the bitterness, like where the bitterness is coming from, I think I think orange is a predominant upfront flavor. But I think when you think about the bitterness, it is mostly orange zesty, but there is a tiny bit of resinous pine in there as well. So that kind of, you know, it kind of throws you for a little bit of a loop, and that's kind of interesting to see something that comes in as that orange flavor, but kind of has a little bit of that piney in there too. Just to let you know, hey, I got more. I'm not just a one-trick pony. I've got this little piney bitterness up my sleeve. So yeah, I mean, this is, like I said, this is the first official in the official capacity of a review Mothfire beer that I had. I did have one on the live stream with Zach Clark. So, you know, that one was a little bit more of a West Coast, but it didn't really strike me as a West Coast. I think it was a West Coast at least. It was a long live stream. But anyways, Mothfire is continually kind of enticing me or making me want more and see what other kind of things they do. So I will obviously be looking forward to more things that Mothfire can put out. But I think this one more kind of caters to, it's like a bridge. It's more of a bridge between a traditional IPA fan and a New England style IPA fan. If someone that hasn't, you know, has had IPAs and they haven't really gone too much in the New England style IPAs, or maybe, you know, they're experiencing too much of a hop burn, or, you know, that kind of burnout that you can get from so many New England style IPAs, I think this one's a good bridge between an IPA and a New England style IPA. On the can, it says a double dry hopped IPA. To me, that means a New England style IPA. But I think that they are they're bridging the gap. They're kind of trying to make a hybrid beer, and I think they're pretty successful at that. I think this is squarely could be aimed at somebody who isn't quite familiar with New England style IPAs or has been turned off of New England style IPAs in the past, and this one could possibly bring them back. All right, friends, that has been Lolo Lit Haze from Mothfire Brewing Company in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Have you been able to try any of Mothfire's beers yet? Have you tried this one? If so, what did you think? Let me know in the comments down below. While you're down there, if you like beer, you might want to subscribe and click that bell, because I'm here talking about beer twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's all for free for viewers just like you. And you never know when your newest favorite might show up on the channel if you're not subscribed and getting those notifications. So until next time, I'm Sean from Draft Therapy. Thanks for stopping by. Remember, drink craft beer, support your local breweries wherever they are, and most importantly, don't forget to treat yourself to a little draft therapy. Thanks for watching. Cheers.